Good morning, everyone. This is Brian from Earth to Hearth, and today we're out here in mid-September, and we just had our first rainstorm. Yay! So it seems like hopefully the drought that we have had, the hot, dry summer up here in the Pacific Northwest, that at least we're just getting a little bit of a break, sort of a beginning to fall. But yeah, actually having about 2 days of rain. There's supposed to be one little cloud burst maybe later, but yeah, I just thought this would be a good time to do a little September update. Did not get to do an August one. We were really busy, but our tomatoes here on the trellis, our little tunnel here, are doing great. This is the black icicles. I picked a bunch just before this, just in case. I wasn't too worried. The soil, we've been working and improving the soil for a long time, for last few years, and so I wasn't too worried about them splitting, but I did take all the ones that had already started ripening to split. Now these are the greasy grits. We didn't like. I would say this is a variety we tried this year, and I do not like it. So, and tried feeding the chickens. They don't really love it either, so take that as you will. But at the very least, it's produced a really nice green manure, and we've just been kind of adding and adding that to the bed here. We still have some beets and carrots that we're just kind of pulling as we need. That's sort of the nice thing with beets and carrots. You don't necessarily have to pull them. That and then over here, and that was the reason I'm talking about the wheelbarrow in a second, did a fall top dress and fertilizing of all our blueberries, and these are honeyberry here, right here, and then blueberries down the line. So gave them a nice acid mix and then top dressed with compost. I planted some native grass seed up here for just kind of restoring this spot and adding a little more. So we'll see how hopefully it takes. And yeah, the wheelbarrow, I was just using that to get compost all over in there, and I had to sat it down. It was really windy and rainy, so it got knocked over. Hazelnuts have already been harvested. They did really nice and well. Sort of same thing for our blackberries. There's maybe a few raspberries. Didn't produce a lot this year. We have some butternut growing that I harvested, or I haven't harvested yet. Most of our delicata, they didn't get big, but I already harvested those. Sunflowers are getting close. Kind of lean them up here just to kind of keep them from falling over too badly. But getting close. Like this, I think this head, we're probably getting ready to just cut it off. Same with probably this guy. I mean, actually, looks like you've gotten damage. I'll just take you off later. No corn, that's okay. Got little mini pumpkins. Those will be fun little roasters. Everything up here is doing well. Crazy. Yeah, morning sun. Strawberries and the like are happy. All of our orchard. So we've already picked pretty much, I think there's anything left on the orchard. Oh, we do have one new thing. Let's go talk about that. And we were talking about native plants. So you can see here, still kind of working on this project. Should have grabbed that, but hey, back's been bothering me and I just didn't have a chance to drag it all the way over. But out here in the front, and we talk about the drought and whether we're so glad to have the rain back, because we did lose quite a few trees that we planted this year, even with watering. But planted this hedge of native huckleberry, which I really like as a plant. Up here, it's in the same family as blueberries, but it's evergreen and it has this really pretty, the new growth is really nice and pretty. And this agreement, this is already broken, so but I was wanting to show you as it kind of has this reddish color, and then it'll get to a darker evergreen. Small tart berries. We have walnuts up front here, and we're hoping they are not black walnuts. At least the variety isn't, but they are in black walnut rootstock, and that produces jugalone, which is a chemical which has a I guess we can say it's like a natural herbicide. But so hopefully it will help kind of contain these blackberries. That one didn't make it. We already got that one on order for replacement. But here, these huckleberries will just form sort of a natural hedge. They'll grow. They do prefer to be mostly shady, but they will grow in full sun as well. So they're kind of like an understory edge of the forest plant, ecologically speaking. But we're hoping that these will kind of just grow up to about 6 to 8 feet tall. Same width-wise. Obviously, we'll be shaping them too to help along with that and prune them to size. But they'll produce a nice sort of just a little privacy hedge on the front here of our property. This is sort of wild that we're gonna working on, and then we're gonna kind of continue with these gooseberry hedge on the inside, going on the inside of the thing. Yep, our pears and apples, for the most part, have done really well, other than the two that died over here. I did just harvest. I did a separate video kind of showing me packing them up, the hops, which did surprisingly well. These two, so I think I just didn't give enough water to them. Good morning. But these two hops did the best. And again, these get the most shade, so I think it was just, and sometimes I'm bad when watering pots with getting them adequate water, so I think that might have been it. They just didn't get water, and we did lose 3. We had 3 plants die, so I think water was probably an issue. Good morning. Chicken's doing well. They're enjoying their new run, space, and tolerating their new waterer. I need to get, I think, a couple more pavers just to lift it up. But otherwise, they seem to be liking it. This, unfortunately, the tomatoes in here have not been a success. Everything else has been doing fine, but the tomatoes, I mean, the soil in here was not good, so tons of blossom end rot. Other than that, doing fine. Yeah, one of these did get knocked over in the windstorm, but otherwise, everything in here is doing good. Got peppers. Plenty of peppers, doing well. These guys are a paprika, which I've dried some. I got more paprika over there, which we're waiting for them to ripen more. That's a sweet, and this is a spicy. So the sweet ones, I'm gonna smoke. I'm gonna do them separately, and I'll smoke them. And then, yeah, everything else. Just got some bells and cayennes. They're all doing well. Yeah, we got tomatoes in here. Doing well. We lost them to rodents, so they clipped off the bottom. But otherwise, finishing up the season with them. I will probably be doing some beans in the pots here, some bush beans, and I'll just throw them in there. And that way, because beans, they don't like frost. So if I put them in the greenhouse, that'll kind of hopefully insulate them, and we'll get more beans throughout the fall, winter. Yeah, our pawpaws not do well. We have had no luck with pawpaws, but all our brassicas are doing great. So, and then I've done fall planting. I need to re-sow some beets here. They didn't do well. We got beets and turnips, and then greens, right? So mixes of collards and kale and Swiss chard, all that. And along with that, some more broccoli, cabbage. All that stuff has done really well. This sprouting broccoli, this is the Calabrese sprouting, it's probably my favorite variety, because a lot of the sprouting ones tend to be very small heads. They do sprout, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't know why. I've tried them. I'll try this new broccoli rabe variety. It's okay, but it still isn't great. But this one is great. It'll produce a good medium size to large head, and then it just keeps sprouting and sprouting. And even the side shoots will be decent size. We're getting near the end, so we are starting to get smaller, but even there, like, that's still not a bad little side shoot. So, peppers over here doing good. All right, we can do a quick little walk over. These guys have survived. Hopefully they'll do better next year. Lemon and oranges are doing well. Nothing spectacular to say. They're just growing, enjoying. And then over here, my experiment is also going quite well. I did have to put netting over it because the deer went and chopped it. But so this wild, or not say wild, but this naturally produced sprout It's turned out to be an acorn, it looks like. It looks like it's some sort of acorn squash. And we did grow a couple varieties of acorn. So this is the one that we threw a bunch of our semi-rotten that we kind of forgot about in the back porch squash last year. We just kind of threw them and chucked them off the side. And this one actually did and sprouted itself. So I'm hoping to keep breeding it to get one that will grow earlier and earlier in the season, and then eventually get to the point where I don't have to worry about transplanting it. Right, and growing it inside, I can just direct sow the seeds as early in the year as possible, and they'll be doing well. Tea, I think we're getting ready to go plant it now that the rains have come. This is some lemons, bush beans in pots, doing great. And I might even just move those into the greenhouse. But onions, started seeds, we're gonna do a fall planting. I've never done it by seed before, or successful, I should say. So I'm hoping to plant these with our garlic when we go to plant our garlic. Some more mix of bush beans. This is our herb bed. It's still doing great. And that is lupin, which we're going to plant along the fence next year. And then in here, we've got these new beds, cedar beds, just kind of put them up front. And this one is, I believe, beets and Swiss chard. And there's some beautiful figs. Oh, wow, it's split. Oh, we're going to have to eat that. I think that's our last fig this year. Oh, yeah, just got split from the rain. Take a look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. It was very good. Peas. Everything else over here. And in here is, remember correctly, I believe this is turnips and kale. I need to do some reseeding. This place doesn't get as warm. But there's some beans in here. And they've also grown along with our Swiss chard, which has been great. Lots of Swiss chard. Probably one of my favorites in terms of green. So, yeah. That is our garden update. I got some more cleanups to do in the field. And once I kind of get the greenhouse cleaned up, I'll kind of show you what's going on there. I know I've talked about our field garden. But, yeah, so really all that's down there right now is our rose, which I have a cover crop planted for the fall. I'm also rebuilding the fencing down there, as that all kind of broke last year, and that's part of the reason we didn't really grow anything this year. The greenhouse is a mess and just needs to be cleaned up, and probably will do a cover crop as well, but just not there yet. So once I kind of get that a little more cleaned up, then I'll kind of just do a little tour of that. So yeah, hope you enjoy our little September welcoming of the rain update, and have a great day.